the meeting to order at 5:30. Can I get a motion? Oh, sorry. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. We will now convene a closed session. here at 6:01. Item 3A, report of action taken in closed session. Can I get a motion to approve case number 2223-09-SE?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. And then I would like to invite our students from Hahn Elementary up for the flag salute.
Please stand for the pledge. Ready, begin. Pledge of allegiance to the flag, United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Next, I would like to invite Principal Diaz up for Margaret Hahn to do a presentation. Okay. To do a presentation about the school. Oh, and we have some of the students again.
All right. Hi, my name is Nikki Diaz, and I am the principal at Hahn Elementary School. And we are all here tonight to talk about the arts and music in schools, specifically at Hahn School, and how we are expanding access and opportunity through Prop 28. Just kidding, hold on. So just a little brief recap. California voters passed Prop 28 in the year 2022. And what that really means for schools is that we now have dedicated ongoing funding specifically for arts and music education. The goal is to make sure all students at every grade level have greater access to visual and performing arts, whether that's music, visual art, dance, or theater, and that they're getting more instructional time in those areas. It also allows schools to hire credentialed teachers or bring qualified teaching artists to provide meaningful instruction. And because this money is considered supplemental, it can't take place of existing art programs or staffing. It's meant to add to what we already have and not take place of it. Schools use the funds for things like staffing, materials, equipment, and supplies, and districts still have local control to build arts programs that best fit their students and their community. At Hahn School, all students participate in weekly music lessons, with 5th grade participating in band. All students receive an age-appropriate art lesson once a month, and students perform in a school play in the spring. I'm gonna have a couple of students come and talk about each of our programs and highlight what we're doing at Hahn School. So first, we're going to start with music and band with teacher Goshert.
Our music program is designed to help students grow as musicians year after year. Each grade builds on what students learned before, so the music gets more exciting and more challenging as students get older. In kindergarten and first grade, students start by learning the basics for music through singing, dancing, moving, and playing instruments. They learn how to keep a steady beat and explore musical opportunities like high and low, loud and soft, and fast and slow. Students also get to play fun instruments like drums, shakers, and bells while learning how to listen carefully and make music together.
In second grade, students continue practicing these skills, but the music becomes a little more advanced. They sing songs with more rhythm and begin learning about different kinds of music. Students also start reading harder rhythms and build their own patterns using simple music notation.
In third grade, students begin reading music and playing the first ensemble instrument, the recorder. Every student receives a recorder and learns how to play as part of a group. Students practice listening, staying on beat, and playing together as a team. In fourth grade, students continue to build the ensemble skills by playing recorder and learning a new instrument, the ukulele. Students also have chances to create multi-instrument ensembles, meaning they may play in groups using more than one instrument. They continue to grow their ability to read both rhythm and pitch in music.
In fifth grade, students get to take the next big step and join the beginning band. They receive a band instrument, either a trumpet or a clarinet. Students learn how to put their instrument together, take care of it, and produce a strong sound. Once they are ready, students are encouraged to bring instruments home and practice during the week. Overall, our music program helps students grow from learning basic beats and movement to reading music, playing instruments, and performing together. Each year builds new skills so that students become stronger, more confident musicians over time.
And next, we're going to talk about art with Miss Angela.
Thanks to Proposition 28 funding, our school has a strong and exciting art program for all students. The art curriculum is carefully planned for 3 grade groups, TK through 1st, 2nd through 3rd, and 4th through 5th. Each group learns lessons that match their age level while also building skills and creativity.
In art class, students get to learn about many different artists and explore new art techniques and materials. We study artists from many backgrounds, including older artists whose work shows experience in history and modern artists from around the world who help us learn about different cultures and ideas.
One of the most important parts of our art program is student choice. Instead of everyone making the exact same drawing, students are given a goal and some guidelines, and then they get to make their own creative decisions. Students learn that art does not have to be perfect. The goal is to try new things, solve problems, and build confidence in their own creative style. Students also learn important art vocabulary to help them talk about their work and understand what they see.
A special highlight of the program happens in 5th grade with the 5th grade mural. This is a big group project that becomes a goodbye gift to the school. 5th graders work together to brainstorm ideas, help create the final design, and each student paints a small part of the mural. This teaches teamwork and helps students feel proud of leaving something meaningful behind. Overall, our art program helps students build creativity, confidence, and skills that they can use not only in school but throughout their lives.
All right, and last up, we have performing arts, our school productions. Girls.
At home, on. Our musical theater program produces a show with this year being Frozen. Students audition and are casted in December, then rehearsals begin 2 afternoons a week in January until the show in April. This year we have 55 actors, 3rd through 5th grade, and another 5 backstage students who run the curtains, lights, and are the stage managers. We double cast the show so more students can get lead parts, and it also gives them a chance to work with people on their lines and expressions. Thanks to Prop 28, we are able to support this program that touches so many students. In rehearsal, we work on literacy and comprehension along with articulation and character expression. We also get moving with dance and are able to practice social and spatial awareness along with learning notes and are able to learn how to harmonize.
The arts are beneficial for all levels of social and educational development. For example, one of our past cast members who is now a junior in high school had a giant leap in his words read per minute and in his reading comprehension due to his practice in reading a script and memorizing lines. We also had a student who spoke a little English, so we adjusted lines so that they felt comfortable and they were able to practice building upon their second language. We see all of our students come out of their shell and build up their confidence by being on stage. The students in the show also become friends, and we love seeing them play together on the yard and helping the younger kids with homework. This is a chance for them to find people with like interests and is a comfortable spot to be themselves. Each year we have a number of past students come back to help direct, teach dances, or just pass on what they have learned, and this is why we continue to do what we do.
We are excited about the continued growth of arts and music at Han School and the opportunities that it creates for every student to learn, express themselves, and thrive. I want to end by giving a heartfelt thank you to our teachers and the talented artists who make this work possible. Their time, creativity, and dedication are what bring the arts to life for our students each day. Because of these teachers, Han School students are gaining confidence, skills, and experiences that will stay with them far beyond the classroom.
Thank you. Do any of the trustees have any questions or anything for Ms. Diaz? No?
I was just, thank you for the presentation, and it takes a lot of guts to get up there and present in front of this big audience, so I'm so proud of all of y'all.
Yes, you guys did a good job. Thank you. All right. All right, next up we have attendance recovery with Alana, Amelia, and Jared. I don't know if it's all three of them, but there they are.
Hi.
Hi.
That's
it is all
difficult
three.
to follow. All right. Thank you for having us. I'm here with Jared Cohen, our Expanded Learning Program Coordinator, and Amelia Circo, our Educational Service District Administrator, to present attendance recovery. So I think Amelia is going to start us off tonight.
All right. Good evening, everybody. How are you doing? So we're here to talk about attendance recovery and just give you some information, answer any questions that you may have tonight. And so my job and what I've been forged with tonight is to start off and just to talk about why attendance recovery. I'm sure that you've been hearing about it. You've been hearing it probably within the ranks. And the three of us have been delved in it pretty steeply since about October. And so here we are now presenting to you. So why attendance recovery matters. So I wanted to give you some data points before we got started tonight. The first one is on our first day back from winter break, we had an attendance rate as a district at 90.8%. And we wanted to equate that for you of what that estimated loss of ADA in one day was. And it was equated to $31,425.60. It was a major hit to our district on that day. And that's not the only day where we're looking at attendance rates. That's an average basically of students, of about 367 students that did not attend school that day. And obviously that not only impacts our student outcomes, but our district revenue. So when you're looking at our unrealized revenue, and I do just want to point out that, this is based off of 100% attendance rate. Now, would we like to get to 100% attendance? Absolutely. Do we strive for that every day? We absolutely do. But we're also aware that I don't even know at any time that I've seen 100% attendance at any school site, let alone in any district over my 30 years in education. And so that it's a goal for us, but it's also, there is wiggle room in that statement. But for every 1% in Cotati-Rohnert Park Unified School District that we do raise up our attendance, we're looking at about an $800,000 revenue boost for us. And so our attendance is really underlining, our attendance is critical for us to remain fiscally solvent in all areas. So what does attendance recovery offer for our students and our staff? Well, there's lots of opportunities here. And so some of them we have listed here. It's not only re-engages students with their missed instructional time, but it supports academic progress. It builds structure, routine, and connection to school. And then it does increase the enrichment academic support, which I want to highlight that for you, for the teachers. This is an opportunity for our teachers, and what we see with our course offerings, our teachers get to come in and get to be excited about what it is that they're teaching again. And so they get to come up with creative and non-traditional ways of addressing standards and making the learning relevant for the students in a manner in which they're enthusiastic about what it is that they're presenting. And then most importantly is it's going to strengthen our attendance habits long term, because ultimately what we would like to do, and the three of us talk about this often, we would like to work ourselves out of this position of working on attendance recovery, because our attendance is just so strong in the district that we're able to look at other ways to be able to serve our students than trying to recoup the learning that is lost because of the attendance rate being so low. So with that, I am going to hand it over to my colleague, Jared Cohen.
So attendance recovery, where does it happen? Honestly, a better question would be, where doesn't it happen? Currently, all of our sites are doing attendance recovery classes, except a few. We've been really strategic about embedding attendance recovery into programs you already know that are successful. Rather than building something entirely new, we integrated it into our expanded learning opportunities, and results have been incredibly positive. Our teachers have been amazing partners in this work. With our current winter session, nearly half of our school enrichment teachers incorporated attendance recovery into their classes. That kind of commitment speaks about their dedication to the students. We also been mindful about the costs, so whenever possible, we target non-student days and days where custodial and maintenance teams are already on site. So we can maximize opportunities for students while still being fiscally responsible. So exciting news, in a couple weeks, March 16th, we are for the first time launching our Spring Break Rise Academy. So for that entire week, we are going to be holding enrichment classes from 8:20 a.m. to 12:35 p.m. And we already have 14 to 15 teachers signed up through 5 different school sites. And all of them are attendance recovery. So we are really excited about that and to see what that's going to become. Like I said about incorporating our already successful Summer Enrichment Academy, which will be happening again this summer, is also going to be implementing attendance recovery. So we have quite a few different classes usually during our summer, and we expect a lot of those classes to also be attendance recovery. So what is the response? Again, our teachers have been fantastic. Currently, like I said before, half of them during our current winter enrichment are doing attendance recovery. But like I said, all of them during the spring break will be attendance recovery. And they are very excited about it. They seem to really love the idea of attendance recovery. And here's just some of the classes that we are currently holding in our winter enrichment. So we have like creative writing, eco explorers, ABC explorers. All these classes that are being taught are proposed by the teachers. They pitch it to us through a form, and I don't think there's ever been a class we've ever turned down. And all the classes, again, are just, you can just see the creativity that these teachers have and the passion that they have to want to teach the students. So for our secondary sites, we are looking at ways to engage student creativity. So what are they already doing that can be reframed? So a good example of this is at Tech Middle, we have the flag football going on after school, and they're already 2 days a week doing conditioning and weightlifting. And we had a great idea of, if they're already in the weight room doing some conditioning, let's make that an attendance recovery class. So that's what we're currently doing. So 2 to 3 days a week, Mr. Lowe at Technology Middle will be doing attendance recovery for weightlifting that's already happening for flag football. And of course, there's targeted interventions. So we have some after school tutoring at Tech Middle, and we're just trying to find ways to kind of make the after school tutoring or homework club into something more focused on targeted interventions like math help or English help. And of course, for high schools, we're looking at the high school math success lab and anything, again, we can incorporate that they're already doing after school. So that's what we're currently looking to.
And I just want to go back to that. One of the ways that we're able to tie in classes like, say, a weightlifting class is because it's easily tied into PE standards, and it's tied into grade level standards. So they're already doing that heavy work of academic standards, but we're just, and with the help of Amelia, who's a magician, in tying in core standards, we're able to help them kind of put that all in a package. So that's how we're doing it. Now we talk about the impact, right? So Jared talked a little bit about the winter enrichment. So I've been up here before, and I've talked with you about the expanded learning and how we do enrichment classes after school. We did our winter enrichment. It was a new program to add attendance recovery component there. And we had about 24 classes that signed on for attendance recovery. And we had about 100 or so offerings, whether it was outside vendors or internal classes that were offered. So it was a new process for our teachers, and we really helped with that lift. And just that small shift of aligning it to grade level standards, to core standards, the return for that was about $25,000. So, and it was, that was a wonderful return. That was up as of February 5th. So, what's that? It was very encouraging. So, as we move into spring, as we move into the Spring Rise Academy, what we're doing is we really want to look at students who have high absences and are ELO qualified, because that is one of the qualifiers for this program to be tied to expanded learning. And those will be the students that will be invited first to that program. And hopefully, with a 5-day program, we might be able to recoup those 5 days of absences for those students. So that would be our goal. I'm a Mac user. I'm a big believer in contributing, or acknowledging who contributes to our success. And as you will see, everybody does. So lifting a program like this is a district-wide program. So everyone contributes. So none of it can be done without our certificated staff. It is a program that they are buying into. They want to teach. They are the first to sign up. As soon as I sent out the proposals on over the weekend, actually, we had our first Summer Enrichment Academy proposal, and the first person to submit a proposal was an attendance recovery proposal, and it just warmed my heart. So They are true partners in all of this. So, and then you go across every department in this district. So everyone's rolling up their sleeves and lending a hand in this initiative, and it just makes us all so proud. So we're very grateful. We like to look at attendance recovery. I think we said this at the beginning. It's a win-win-win, right? First and foremost, it's a win for our students. It brings them back into the classroom. It re-engages them. It's a win for our faculty. It provides opportunity for extra hours, for an opportunity for, for work, especially in a budget time right now. And it helps our district. This is one opportunity for our district to recoup, and this is what we should be doing. So we're happy to help with that. Did I miss? Okay.
Great, thank you.
Are there any questions?
I have some, but I think we'll start down there and then go this way. First of all, I just want to say thank you. This is very well thought out and very well put together. So thank you for the three of you for that. So Trustee Johnson, do you have any questions or?
Yes, thank you. So, great work. I can see that, you had a lot of attendance. Two questions. The first one is, so you target the students that have had a lot of absences, and so they're the ones that get first priority to attend these recovery classes. Great.
Well, so I'll tell you, as being part of the expanded learning program, so let me backtrack just a little bit. Because attendance recovery right now is being run through expanded learning program, and the funds that are being used to fund all of this currently are being used out of expanded learning. It has to be part of a 9-hour day, which means we have to have the YMCA there. There are some other parameters that are there. And because of that, the expanded learning criteria still applies. So it has to be the ELO qualifications, the homeless, the foster youth, the EL students, and free and reduced meals. And then the next criteria, of course, is students with absences, because the idea is to recoup absences. There is a possibility to bank absences, and I think that the longer this program goes and the more comfortable we get with this program, we will absolutely be in that realm that a student, say, might be able to participate in a program like this, and let's say they get sick 2 months later and they have an absence, we will be able to recoup that day as a banked day, which is wonderful, absolutely. But with our attendance the way that it currently is right now, the most efficient and effective thing, fiscally responsible thing for us to do right now is to look at the absences and try to recoup that at this point in time.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Trustee Brown?
So we historically budget about 95% attendance. So when we go below that, I mean, it affects our budget accordingly. Like you quoted $31,000 on the day after, the holidays. And then, so I'd love to have 100%,
Wouldn't we
I mean,
all?
the real reward is the students learning and
Right.
being there. But unfortunately, we have to look at dollars and cents. So your enrichment programs, how much of that's run by grants now? Most of it or all of it?
100% of it.
100% of it. So then all the people that you showed that are part of that, their salaries are paid via that grant program? I see a head no. Or yes, no.
If you're looking at
Yeah, everybody that has to participate, so if I'm working more, I'm getting paid more.
Extra,
So when you said there's a savings, my question is, when there's a savings of 300,000, are we considering the offset of the cost, or is that just the student amount?
I'm sorry, what were you referring to with 300,000?
So, pardon me,
25,000
26,000?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the ADA that is estimated to have been recouped
Right,
would go to the general fund, not back to expanded learning.
right. then the costs to run the program all comes out of the grant program.
Correct.
So there's no additional cost for that?
Nope.
Okay.
That is the beauty, honestly, of running it through the expanded learning. The cost, we are well within the grant guidelines
Right.
of running this program through the expanded learning. All of the enrichment instructors, all of the costs, expenses is an allowable expense, and it is what we're already doing with enrichment to be run through expanded learning.
So my follow-up question, this is during spring break for time to do that. Is any of our summer time allowed for that also?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're building it now. Summer Enrichment Academy, there will be 4 sessions, 4 week-long sessions. As of right now, we're anticipating all 4 sessions will be attendance recovery. We can recoup we can recoup until June 30, and then the 2 July dates will be banked.
Okay. So kind of a question for John and you together is, with all those sessions, what do we anticipate the dollar savings to be?
I don't know.
Okay, I mean, future-wise, I'd kind of like to,
But,
you know,
so,
guess that out. Go ahead.
I'd just like to say, so it's hard to give you that amount because based on the student's grade level, will determine and predicate what the
Yeah, we
amount
get different
could-
amounts for the
So
LCFF.
a
Yeah,
high schooler has a different amount for ADA
Right, I
than what a
understand that.
kindergartner does.
right.
Yes.
Mhm.
So we do have an amazing Lystra who works out a very rough estimate for us based on numbers that John and Molly gave. And so they're really estimates that I'm very good at my job, and numbers are not them.
Okay.
So I'll trust John and
Okay.
his team to do that.
Again, it would be hard to predict
Hmm.
what that would look like until, I could tell you once the days are over, I can tell you how much.
Yeah,
we recouped.
Yeah.
that'd be good to know after the fact. So as we go
Yeah.
forward with the program, we can anticipate
We're just going to keep
cost
going.
recovery.
We're not stopping.
Yeah, no.
Wouldn't we know who came to summer? Sorry, I'm going to just jump in for a sec. We know who came to the summer academy last year,
Yeah.
right? And we know those students' attendance records, right?
Yes.
So couldn't we say, based on last year's numbers, this is how much we would have gotten back if we had this program in place last year? And one could assume that it would be somewhat similar this year?
It's possible. It would take some time because we have a different database
Okay,
versus what we have now. We now have a Activity Hero,
right, yeah.
which will make it so much easier because they actually work with our data system to be able to run reports for CalPAD, so we can report this.
Nice.
So we're in a much, much better reporting position this year than we were last year on a Google form. So it'll be easier. But yes, we can try to run some rough numbers.
Well done. I mean, this is a gain where previously there was only a loss, so well done. Looking at these numbers, just calculating in my head, the lion's share of the winter enrichment seems to only be, and I see why it's reported TK through 5th. There doesn't seem to be any coming in from secondary.
Not yet, because I'll tell you why. The grant is TK through 6, so that is the grant. However, we do have some unrestricted expanded learning funds that we are allowed to use until June 30. That we have earmarked for secondary for exactly this reason. And so we are working with the secondary schools, the high schools, the middle schools, to identify opportunities specific to them, whether it is enrichment opportunities, week-long sessions, whether it's spring break opportunities, summer enrichment type things specifically for them. So we are in the process of coming up with attendance recovery enrichment opportunities for them.
But the grant is constrained only TK through
The
6.
grant is TK through 6.
Okay, because I don't have the report in front of me, but I do remember last month that the attendance rates tend to drop once they get into secondary. That's where we see the
Absolutely.
low 90s and below. So
And I also want to
that's the target need, but we don't have the target funds.
It is, and I also do want to say that just because we don't have the funds doesn't mean we can't do it. And so it just means we need to take the cost into consideration. It means we need to take the cost of a teacher, the cost of the supplies into consideration. It doesn't mean that we cannot do the program. It just means we need to it will pay for itself. It just means we need to fund it a little differently.
Thank
But
you.
absolutely, we should move forward TK12.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Is the recovery daily rate per student the same as the regular daily rate per student?
Mhm.
Okay, that's it. Thank you. This is a very nice report.
I have a question because I think I'm being like too literal on this. So the winter enrichment was not just during winter break.
No.
Okay, because it says 6 to 9 week sessions. I'm like, this is like
So-
college winter break now.
Mm.
We're going. So it's really after school for 6 to 9 weeks.
Correct.
In the winter time frame.
Yep. We
Okay.
also have a spring enrichment session and we have a fall enrichment session.
Okay, so that's why it's as of 2/5/26.
Correct.
This is still going on.
Yep.
Okay, I was being very literal, and I was
Yeah.
like, winter break was over. Why
Yeah,
do
no. We actually didn't do this over.
Okay,
we
right.
didn't do attendance recovery over the actual winter break.
Okay.
We tried it one day.
We tried it for one day. I think we made like $7,000. We recouped $7,000.
It was a practice for us.
It was a practice run.
Okay. Well, and people winter at some point the students do, and
Yeah.
our staff do need a break. But, and then for the spring one, like it really is going to be during spring break, right?
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
So then, and I think you already answered the question, but I just want to make sure that I understand everything. So during the spring break, we will have RIPSIA teachers or other staff working above and beyond their contract, right?
Yes, extra duty.
And so the extra duty is on top of their normal pay.
Correct.
And that extra pay comes out of the grant. So we will do like a transition from this GL to that GL and we're good to go, right?
It's yeah. It's expanded learning extra duty rate. So
Okay.
like if they were to teach in winter enrichment or spring enrichment, we have expanded learning enrichment time
Okay.
card they fill out and
Oh,
we
okay.
code it. So it would just be like they're working for expanded learning.
Okay. And then I know like Amelia and Jason, you guys are, or I'm sorry, Alana and Jason, you guys are paid out of the ELO grant. So the other people that are working on this, like Amelia, and I'm sure Molly is doing some accounting and things like that, is part of their salary. Are we using grant money to pay for it? Can we do that? So why can't we use part of Amelia? Like, Alana says she has all this money. So
It's
okay.
yeah.
I will. Maybe you can let
I
me know
think-
later.
It looks like something we need to talk about, and we'll see what's possible and what's not, because I don't know that we have an answer for that right
It's
now.
complicated. If someone is working above and beyond their job and time, maybe we would consider it, but, I think we're all working within our contracted times, if you will, to get this work done.
I'll speak for myself, President Wing. I'm building it into my workday. And so I just consider it to be a professional responsibility under the Educational Services Department. And so I volunteered when we first started talking about it to work with the team. I just said, I think I have something to offer to this. And so for me, it's just part of my purview and my scope of my job as far as I'm concerned.
The attendance recovery component it is a crossover between
Yeah.
ed services and expanded learning.
And I just want to point out as well, and I think I just want to clarify this just to make sure. So there's two spring offerings being offered. You have the spring break offering.
And then the general spring
Okay,
session.
and then you have the spring enrichment, which is that 6 to 9 weeks, just like the winter enrichment. So there's two separate spring offerings that E ELOP is offering.
Okay, sounds good. I had one question, and I don't think you'll know the answer, but a couple of my coworkers, their students go to Windsor Unified,
Mhm.
and they sent the packets home over Thanksgiving break and winter break, and then they're doing another one over spring break. I had to explain to them what attendance recovery was because they were like, I don't understand what's this mean, and it was a whole learning experience for everyone at the office of how schools get paid. But and I know that's outside of this grant and your guys' purview, but is that something that we can look into as well, do you think, going forward? Of,
I can
yeah.
answer that. So Windsor is able to do that because they have a system set up so that their independent study is not done, but we pay our teachers for every independent study contract. So for us to make money back on independent study, it really only works for high school kids that, or actually for elementary kids that go for a certain amount of days and then get it back.
Okay.
So we get paid the ADA $70 a day for a kid's independent study at the elementary level, and that's a generalization, not a TK or different
Right,
grade
right,
level.
just, yeah, general's good. We're
But
doing
we
napkin
pay the
math here.
teacher to do $50 to prepare the work and $50 to correct it. So for the first 3 days, we're breaking even. After that, if kids don't get it turned in, then we don't recoup any of the money back. So for us, it's a little different. Windsor has a system set up where they are using packets that
Yeah.
they have created, which is not part of our contract with our deal. So we would have to change something to be able to offer our own, like, Amelia creates the packets and we pass them out as something. We'd have to change our policies and our practices to do that. Because
And-
right now, we pay teachers to do the independent study work and correcting.
And I'll just share that that's separate from an attendance recovery offering. An attendance recovery, you cannot offer anything virtual. It has to be in person by a certificated staff member. So even some of our vendors that we use for the after-school program that is coming from a vendor, those are not attendance recovery option available because it's not being taught by one of our certificated staff members. It has to be in person and it has to be by a certificated staff member.
Okay,
But independent study is different.
so how would I do independent study for the week of spring break?
You wouldn't.
Okay,
Independent
doing
study would be
attendance
for the
recovery.
weeks, the days you miss of school,
okay.
not
So-
the breaks.
And I don't want to we can talk offline, but so what Windsor has done is they've sent an email saying your student has missed a day of school. Here's a packet they can take home over winter break. If they fill it out, we will get paid for that day that they missed. So I'm happy to send you guys the text and we can look into that. But that is one of the things that Windsor is doing is you missed a day of school on this date. If you take this packet home over Thanksgiving break or winter break, or now coming up spring break, our school will get paid back for that day that you missed. So it may be something.
I don't want to slander
No,
anyone
it's-
or say
yeah.
that what someone's doing is right or not. I will
Yeah.
happily look into that to see if it's an option for
Yeah.
us.
That'd be great. And then is Edgenuity, would that, no.
Because it's an online course, we've already looked into that for
That's a
credit
bummer.
recovery. We would have to change our model for credit recovery into
Yeah.
an in-person instruction format.
Oh, God, that sounds expensive. Okay. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. This is
Thank
absolutely
you.
amazing.
I just want to go on the record that they didn't think you were going to have any questions for us.
Really?
I
Come
know.
on.
I'm
I knew
buying,
you
I'm
would.
buying dinner next
Yeah.
time.
Uh-oh.
Thank
All
you.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have reports and communications. So we will do our student board member reports. So we will start with Pinia. Oh my goodness, it's been a long day already. We'll start with Sophia from Tech High.
So good evening, I'm Sophia Paniva, and I'll be talking about what January through February have looked like at Tech High. So on January 28th, our ASB class had the opportunity to visit John Reed Elementary. We spent time with students from TK through first grade. We read to the students, and every class we visited was gifted 3 books. The majority of the time was spent helping the students write cards to people who they are thankful for. We brought art supplies, stickers, and each THS student led a small group of children through the activity. The event was a lot of fun, and we finished it off by giving the kids goodie bags with some fun art supplies and a card written from Tech's ASB. We plan on doing another visit in the future of this year, which will be focused on STEM activities. From February 2nd through 6th, we had a Winter Spirit Week to lead up to the dance that was happening that Saturday. On Monday, we had Jersey Day. On Tuesday, Performative Day. On Wednesday, Student-Teacher Swap Day. On Thursday, Frat versus Sorority. And finally, on Friday, it was Dress Up as Your Favorite Music Genre/Artist. This has been the most participation we've seen in a Spirit Week this year, and the students seem to really like the themes. On February 7th, we had our second ever winter formal titled The Snowball. With about 100 students attending, the dance was a lot of work and a ton of fun. ASB spent a lot of time planning the dance out, working on decorations, and creating a beautiful environment for the students to enjoy. The effort definitely paid off though, and it was really rewarding to see our work come to life. From February 10th to 13th, we had a wellness week. Since we had a 3-day weekend, the days began starting Tuesday, where ASB passed out materials to students during lunch for Shrinky Dinks. On Wednesday, ASB Spirit Committee set up a muffin bar for teachers in the lounge. On Thursday, ASB set up a candy wheel, which students could spin in order to receive a treat. And finally, on Friday, materials were put out for students to make Valentine's Day cards. And the election season for ASB Cabinet began last Wednesday on February 11th. Students who are running are attempting to get elected for one of 6 roles: President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, Public Relations Officer, or Spirit Commissioner. Judging off of the interest meeting that was held, there seems to be a lot of people looking to run. Much like last year, candidates will be chosen using a 3-step process: public vote, written response questions, and an interview. Through this process, each candidate will be judged and the winner will be chosen. This year, the election convention is being brought back. It will include a series of events and activities for the candidates to participate in with other students in order to boost their campaign and connect more with classmates. We can't wait to see how it all plays out. On Valentine's Day, the Hot Crab Feed fundraiser was held at the Rohnert Park Community Center. This year, it was only students from THS volunteering, with about 40 students showing up to help with setup and serving. Students who volunteered to set up put together the tables and made sure that the venue was guest ready. The students who volunteered for serving worked as waiters, bringing food to the tables and making sure that the guests had a good experience. In the end, ASB made about $2,000 from tips, $1,983 exactly. This fundraiser is always amazing for ASB and helps a lot with bringing up funds for other fun activities at our school. Tech has also recently began the spring season in sports. Those include boys volleyball, co-ed swim, co-ed tennis, co-ed track and field, co-ed golf, and baseball. This is our most busy season with many students balancing 2 sports. So here's some student voices. Winter Formal definitely got a lot of good feedback, but students do wish I had more participation since there were only like 100 students attending. We also recently found out that the class of 2027, the juniors, will not be having a Disney senior trip, which is quite unfortunate, but we're trying to work out some stuff and figure out what other senior trip we could do. And then, like I said, spring sports are coming up, so people are very excited. A lot of practice days have already began. And juniors are really feeling academic load right now, and a lot of students are preparing for AP testing and other standardized tests. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey, Sophia,
Yeah.
do you know why the Disney trip was canceled?
It was because teachers thought that, teachers felt like it was like a big load for them, like with all the transportation and then staying up from like super early in the morning to really late, getting back at like only like 3 a.m. So yeah, it was just a lot of work for the teachers and chaperones.
Okay.
I just met last week with the juniors that were planning for it, and they have some other ideas of things that they can do to save money and to not have such a long distance to travel. So I didn't realize that there was a cancellation. They just came to me and said, hey, here's some of the ideas that we want to try. Can we do this? Somewhere like swimming, no, but there were some things around, that they wanted to do, and we kind of problem solved around some things that could be good. So I didn't even realize it was like a canceled thing because they wanted to. It sounded to me like they were excited about finding some alternatives rather than driving all the way to Disneyland.
Yeah, but there are a lot of good alternatives that we're looking at, so I don't think there's going to be too much disappointment. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Olivia Fountain.
And I've got old ears, so could we turn up the student's microphone a little bit? Thank you.
So I'm Olivia Fountain, and I will be talking to you guys about the Rancho Cotati School Board report. So our first event, ASB held pancakes in our quad. This is where students could go to our quad and get free pancakes as ASB students cooked them and prepared them. They had many toppings like Nutella, syrup, so many options, so you could choose anything and get your pancake to go. We also had our blood drive. There was in total 20 procedures, where 8 of them were first timers, and we ended up collecting 33 life-saving units, which is actually 13 over our goal. We also had a pasta feed, which ended up being amazing. It's part of our athletics boosters with funding 18 of our sports teams. It was a huge success for athletic boosters they had running concessions from our Cougar Cave, many cakes to get bought, and lots of pasta. We also had our fantastic open house. This is where parents were able to just drop into each of their child's classrooms and check out what's going on with their classes, talk to their teachers, and just be involved in their students' lives. We also had Sola Azteca there for anyone to purchase food if they didn't have dinner or just wanted a little snack. We also had all of our senior nights. So boys basketball, both girls and boys wrestling and girls soccer all got first place in league and are taking home a huge league pennant. And it's actually girls soccer's first time ever in history for getting a first in place in league. So that's really congratulations. In addition, every winter sport has made it to playoffs, so that's really good. We also had our Student of the Month, with the theme being respect. The kids were nominated by teachers when they were treating people, places, and rules with care, kindness, and fairness. We have a couple student voices. When I asked students in multiple grade levels what are some improvements that our school can face, they brought up the bathroom situation. With the new bathroom rules, they're finding that those who are vaping and smoking tend to now go into the stalls, which doesn't help with those who actually need to use the restroom. In addition, with only 3 people allowed in the bathrooms, people tend to just like stand in the mirrors and check themselves out, or just like communicate with their friends and just mess around, which also ends up stopping those people who actually just need to use the restroom. Another thing is the amount of things being scheduled over top of each other. We had plays over top of sporting events and different sports on top of other different sports, which was a bummer because then kids weren't able to go to each other's events, or they would have to choose. However, on a very positive note, there's been a lot of involvement with our sports. Almost every sport has had a student section, so that's really, really good. And we've gotten a lot of amazing feedback on that. And many people have mentioned that they're super excited for the upcoming events, which is our Winter Formal and our Unity Week. Our Winter Formal is on February 28th, and I have heard nothing but amazing things. And then we have our Unity Week assembly with presentations. So Unity Week is a huge thing at our school. We host many presentations with diverse showcases. And then on Friday, we actually do a big assembly where we have a fashion show for any person who wants to show off their culture. They can wear an outfit, and then we describe what they're wearing and anything about their culture they want to mention. And we have many different dances and performances that the entire school gets to watch. And that is it. Any questions?
Great. Any questions? And I'm going to embarrass you, but I believe you are going to playoffs. Is that correct for soccer?
Yes, that is correct.
Congratulations. When's your guys' first game?
Tomorrow, 7 o'clock.
Where's it at?
Home. Because
Okay.
if you get first in league, you get a home game. So all of our sports have home games.
What time is it at?
7.
I thought you said 11 o'clock. I'm like, wow, we can all
No.
just go during the school day.
Yeah, so basketball and us are a home game at 7. And then today is boys soccer also.
Like right
at
now,
7.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, right now. So yeah.
Well, congratulations to you and the rest of your team, and we wish all of our players the best of luck in
Yes.
their playoffs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions? All right. Thank you. And next we have Layla. Thank you for stepping in tonight. We really appreciate it.
up?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Hi, I'm Leila Viles. I'm the second board representative for El Camino. Okay. We're going to start with our community. We have a variety of students, but what's different from our school than other schools is we offer a unique path for students seeking a different learning environment. At El Camino, classes are smaller and the teachers give more attention to each student. Our bridge project. I know we have talked about our skateboard project before, but a new one I want to introduce to you is our bridges. The project is perfect for El Camino because it's hands-on and lets us be creative. We figure out how to make strong designs and work together to solve problems only using 3 items, including popsicle sticks, glue, and paint. Our early graduates. At El Camino, we have a unique opportunity to work hard and finish school ahead of schedule. It's not always easy, but it's definitely worth it. This year, we've already had 11 grads so far and an additional 4 grads this octomester. That's 15 students who have taken control of their futures and achieved their goals early. Okay. El Camino Yearbook. For the first time ever at this campus, we're creating an official yearbook. Now, I know some of you might have heard about stories about the old El Camino location back then. They captured memories within those pages, but this is a new chapter. We're at a different location now with our own unique stories and experiences. This yearbook is more than just pictures. It's about our journey together, our friendships, and what we've accomplished here at El Camino. Teacher Spotlight. I want to take a moment to talk about someone who makes a real difference at El Camino, Mr. Slade. In a place where students often come with complex stories and unique challenges, Mr. Slade is a constant source of support and inspiration. What sets Mr. Slade apart is his unwavering belief in every student. He doesn't just teach subjects, he teaches students how to believe in themselves. He understands that each person has their own path, and he's dedicated to helping them find it. Mr. Slade embodies the spirit of El Camino, a place where second chances are real and every student has the opportunity to succeed. Thank you, Mr. Slade, for all your dedication, your passion, and your commitment to our students. Student Spotlight, Christopher Alfaro. Chris is a responsible student who shows up for himself every day. Chris gets his work done, has good attendance, and stays on track in class. He is nice to others and easy to get along with. Chris is also very creative and especially good at art, which really shows in his work. And that brings us to the end of our presentation, but really it's just the beginning for all of you. El Camino is more than just a school. We focus on individual growth, resilience, and community support. Our students face unique challenges, and El Camino provides them with the tools and encouragement to overcome those obstacles and achieve their goals. We appreciate your time. Thank you all for listening.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, Layla.
Any questions for Layla?
Yes, thank you for your wonderful presentation. And does the rest of your school get to see this presentation too?
No, unfortunately, no.
Well, you should tell them you rocked it tonight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did a
Thank
good
you,
job.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you
so
for
much.
stepping in too. We appreciate it. All right, trustee reports on activities. Trustee Johnson.
Unfortunately, I was not feeling well for the past couple weeks, so I missed all my committee meetings. I apologize for that.
Okay. Trustee Brown.
Pass.
Trustee Nelson.
I've also been under the weather, but I did attend the DLAC meeting. It was very efficient. Yeah, it was very well done. So I think we're making good progress there.
Trustee Martin.
No report.
All right. Today, Superintendent Ituri and I were at the California AI meeting, for lack of a better way. So Calamai, who is the group that came and kind of helped us form the LAMP committee that you're on, they are doing a California statewide AI initiative to help come up with a California kind of policy. So I was on it with Rachel Allen and myself and Maite, and there was someone else from the district office, I believe.
Hillary Sowers was also there.
Yes, she was there too. And so similar, you know, there's our labor management groups, and then there's our labor group and the management groups, and so they broke us all out into different talking sections, and they today we kind of talked about how AI affects the students, and are there any inequities, and what could kind of come up. And the very end, it was kind of about the punitive part. Like, what do you do if kids are abusing it, or teachers are abusing it, or staff are abusing it, and how do you kind of work on that? And the really refreshing part of it was, and we talked in our little small group, was that I said, I genuinely do believe that people are good. The calculator was a tool at one point. Excel was a tool at one point. We still have accountants, even though Excel exists. So I think, anything new is scary. But I think we will still have creative writers. We will still have people that do coding. We will still have people that do these creative movies. And I think genuinely students want to learn. So those that are going to cheat were probably going to cheat before AI existed as well. So it was kind of a refreshing to hear how all the different districts are handling it, and that everyone is like, okay, so it is a tool, but how do we teach our students to use it effectively and in a proactive way? So that was exciting. Rochelle and I went to the city council meeting a couple weeks ago when they were talking about the SRO. So we went there just to support. There was a couple, Heather and a couple of the assistant principals did public comment. And so we just wanted to be there to support the program. It is, as you guys know, the position is frozen for the remainder of the school year, but the chief and the city council are very aware of our concerns, and the intention is to bring it back. It isn't like it's gone and we will never ever see it again, so that was nice. And then after that, Superintendent Eatery and I did meet with Mayor Sanborn and their city manager, and we just had a great conversation about kind of what's going on in the city and what's going on in the school district and how we can work together. We will probably invite them once or twice a year to come and just talk about what's happening in the city that might impact our schools. Like one of the things is this downtown project. They asked Superintendent Eatery and I, what's your plan for all the new kids? And we said, how many houses are you building? And so kind of there's a lot of stuff that we do that happens next to each other and that we touch each other, but we are two different government entities, but there are things that we need to do. If they're going to put in a new subdivision or a new downtown with, what did she say, 300 houses or 500 houses, then, those are things that we need to know. And then maybe once or twice a year, the board president and superintendent can go and just say, hey, this is what's going on in our schools. Because they get questions too. We're going to be putting solar in over the summer, and I'm sure they're going to get questions of like, you told me you had no money, yet you're putting solar at this school. And it's like, no, that's not the city. That's the school district. And then we all know that, that's bond money. But so we're going to try to be a little bit more, keep each other informed. And then just so everyone on the board knows, we will just keep you guys informed of what's happening and what's going on with everything going forward. So that's that. And then there
Is that in place of the 2x2x2 meeting committees?
It's possible.
It hasn't been totally decided yet. So Superintendent Eatery and the different mayors of Roanoke Park and Cotati and Sonoma State are going to talk in the next couple of weeks just to kind of talk about what the future, because there is a little bit of like, what is the purpose of the committee and things like that. So stay tuned for more information to be determined. Monday, there is the Sonoma County Office of Education School Board group meeting. I am going to try to go to it. It starts at 5 o'clock, so I'll probably have to log in from work. It's pretty clear that the direction that this group wants it to go is very educational. So they want 4 times a year to have different educational groups come in and teach people about the Brown Act and teach people about governance and teach people about school finance, which I think is fine. That's not what I want to do on that committee though. So I am going to talk to SCO. If this group wants to be an educational committee, I very, very strongly believe that we need a legislation action committee for Sonoma County. And if they are willing to help me and Lisa, wherever she is, she's hiding from me now, possibly start something like that, then great. And if they say, no, we want nothing to do with that, we're going to go education only. And I think education's fine, but I don't want to go to any more classes. then we just might have to go rogue and start our own legislation action committee. Marin County does have one. Their Office of Education has a legislation action committee. So that's my next step, is to reach out to them to see kind of where they go. But I know I've said it so many times, I can't keep complaining about not having money if we aren't going to do anything about it. So I will see what happens on Monday. Wish me the best of luck.
Is that the county
best of
meeting?
luck.
Yes,
Yeah.
I signed up to go to that for.
Yeah. So, and it's very education focused, but that's okay. Lisa and I are going to strong arm
Yes,
to
we
do
are.
it.
I have a question,
Yeah.
Michelle. So, well, what about our PACE person? Will they help with our lobbying efforts?
So that PACER is through the California School Board Association. So the California School Board Association does have their own legislation action committee. And so in March they have Legislation Action Week where you can go and meet. I did it last year. Unfortunately, I can't do it this year. I have too many work conflicts. And then they have the Coast to Coast, which is in Washington, D.C., that you can attend as well. But you absolutely can be part of the CSBA one. But that's what those PACER updates are for. She's a CSBA employee and telling you these are the different things going on. And I would encourage the trustees, however often you feel comfortable, when she says that there is something happening and they need you to fill out this form or write your congressman or write your legislator to do it. I think it doesn't really matter, but they say that it absolutely does. And if you so desire, share it with anyone else that you think might want to write a letter or do something about it too, because pressure is probably the only way something will actually happen. So you're welcome. All right, next we have our superintendent's report.
All right, good evening, everyone. So since the last meeting, we spent quite a bit of time developing a budget website. We took feedback from community, from staff, and we did some videos and some frequently asked questions. We put in our timeline. I think it's a pretty transparent website to really provide the community with quite a bit of information about where we are, why we are where we are, and what we're going to do about it. So I encourage people to check it out. It's accessible on our website. I attended a conference where the topic, superintendent's conference, which many of the topics revolved around AI and budgets and finance, which was very, very timely and really good to hear from districts around the state. I was really lucky and got to go to a Rancho soccer game. I took my granddaughter who wanted to meet all the players. So I was stalking players to introduce this 3-year-old to players. So I thought that was pretty cute. I also attended an LCAP meeting, which was really great to hear. We had several students present. Always good to hear student voice. I was at a meeting today welcoming schools, focusing on Black student experience, and one of the things they brought up was that we always say we want to hear from students, but we don't create the space to hear from students. So some very powerful statements made there. Also, I took Tech High principal and Rancho principal to Napa. We went on a little field trip and visited a Napa high school that has a fantastic wellness center and how they have peer advocates in their wellness center, and so developing something like that here so that we have, when a student walks into a wellness center, they see themselves. So we're looking into developing that a little more. As President Wing mentioned, we met with the mayor and the city manager, and we also had the AI state meeting today. We did a DO safety training. One of the things we realized from our emergency event back in October is that when we sent district office staff to school sites, they weren't exactly sure what to do because they hadn't really understood, they didn't get enough information about what it is to go in and support a school site and to be trained in search and rescue and student release and all the other things that they may be asked to do. So we cross-trained our district office staff to be able to support school sites when needed. I've gotten a couple of site visits done as well, and it's been a busy month, and thank you all.
Great, thank you. Roanoke Park Cotati Educator Association. Lisa's ready to go.
I'm ready. I heard my name, and so I came up here. Good evening, everyone. This is actually going to be one of the more difficult board reports I've given. Tonight, you'll be asked to take action on an MOU that RIPSIA passed regarding budget reductions. After months of negotiations, RIPSIA has agreed to 2 furlough days, increased class sizes in grades 3 through 12, and an increase in the employee contribution to our dental, vision, and life insurance. As a result, we'll be losing approximately 20 FTE from RIPSIA. I want to emphasize the fundamental cost of this decision. We have agreed to retake a reduction in our salary while accepting a heavier workload. The facts remain unchanged. We are still one of the lowest compensated districts in the county. Despite the severity of these cuts, our decision to agree to them stems from the strong partnership that we have built with district administration and a commitment to keeping our district fiscally solvent. We chose this path because we believe it represents the best of the worst possible scenarios, allowing us to avoid a more severe fiscal crisis. This agreement would not have been possible without this partnership, and for that, we are genuinely grateful. But we are also very heavy. Let me be clear, none of the cuts we are making as a district are good. Every one of our jobs will become more difficult. Supports for our students and teachers, already limited, will be stretched even thinner or disappear entirely. It hurts on a fundamental level to be moving backwards through no fault of our own, knowing we cannot provide our students and educators what they truly need and deserve. At the moment, we are resolved, yet we are also scared. Scared that the cuts won't be enough, scared that 1 year won't be enough, scared that more talented teachers will leave. It is a profoundly difficult time to be an educator. While I do not see a clear path out of this situation, I know our district is not alone, and I can only hope that our state lawmakers will finally take notice and realize that business as usual is fundamentally failing our students and failing our educators. This agreement is a testament to the dedication of RIPSIA and the district's administration to navigate these unprecedented financial challenges responsibly. Though we leave this meeting with heavy hearts, our resolve to advocate for our students and for the proper state funding of education remains absolute. We urge the board to support this difficult but necessary path forward, and we vow to continue the fight for our resources our students and educators truly deserve. Thank you.
Thank you. And then next we have California School Employees Association, John Geck. Hey, John.
Good evening, everyone. Members of the board, Superintendent Atturi, and members of the community. My name is John Geck, and I am here tonight as chapter president of CSEA Chapter 645, representing the dedicated support staff of the Cotati-Rohnert Park Unified School District. I'm pleased to announce a recent update in our chapter leadership. We are welcoming our newly elected chapter secretary, Diane Wright, to the chapter. She brings a wealth of knowledge and experience to the role, and we are very happy to have her. On behalf of our entire membership, I'm also happy to update the board that CSEA Chapter 645 has sunshined our intention to bargain with the district. We are eager to engage in the interest-based bargaining process, which we believe fosters a collaborative and productive environment. We are looking forward to our first session, which is scheduled for this Thursday, February 19th. We approach these negotiations with a commitment to a fruitful, collaborative discussion on how we can best honor the hard work and dedication of our membership while simultaneously maintaining our core mission of improving the lives of our students, our staff, and our community. We are acutely aware of the difficult financial landscape facing the district. We want to acknowledge the sacrifices and compromises that our partners in labor, our RIPSIA and SEIU, have already made for the sake of our students and families. We appreciate their partnership and commitment. And thank you to the district to the Board of Trustees and to our siblings in labor for your continued work and support. We look forward to a successful bargaining process.
Thank you. There is no SEIU report, and there is no receipt of official correspondence. Okay, we are going to take a 5-minute break, and we will be back at 7:21. We are back in session at 7:24. Next up is the consent agenda. Is there any questions for items 7A through AD? Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. There's no educational services, no personnel services, no business and ops. So next up is item 11, board services, fiscal update, and planning. Mr. Bartolome.
Hello, everyone. Been organized here, and that happened a little quicker than I thought. Yes. Okay, first want to talk about the enrollment. So we were a net 8 down from the previous month. Net 8, right? Yeah. Overall, we had 37 students enter the district since December. 5 entered from private charter schools, 15 entered from out of the county, and 7 from within the county, 10 from Santa Rosa, 6 from Petaluma, 1 from Cloverdale. We had 45 students exit the district. That makes the net 8 negative. 6 exited to charter schools. 20 moved out of the district and or county. 13 exited to schools within the county. 8 to Santa Rosa, 2 to Sonoma Valley, 1 each to Rincon Valley, Cloverdale, and Sebastopol for a total of 3. And we had 6 early grads. And that equals 45 students that exited. There was a question about 10th, 11th, and 12th grade specifically. We had a net 8 increase in 10th grade. 1 entered from Elko from Pathways Charter, I believe. Rancho had 8 enter from 1 from Petaluma, 2, there was no comment, 1 from Cava, 1 from Casa, 1 from Pathways, 1 from Roseland, and 1 from Utah. And Rancho had 1 exit to Texas, so that is a net 8 increase. In 11th grade, we had a 16 student decrease. In Rancho, from Rancho, we had 15 exited, 2 early grad, 1 Fairfield, 1 to Sonoma, 1 to Casa, 1 to Lower Lake, 1 to Natomas, 1 to Assurance Academy, 3 to Sacramento, 2 to Sonoma, and 2 to Santa Rosa. Tech High had 2 exit, 1 to Amarosa and 1 to Sebastopol, and Rancho had 1 enter from Elsie Allen for a total of 16 negative. And in 12th grade, we were down 9 students total. 4 exited from Rancho, 1 to John Muir, 2 to Natomas, and 2 no comment. Elko had 6, 4 early grad, 1 expel, and 1 other, and Rancho had 1 enter from Pivot. Any questions about that?
So one question I have is, having been through this for a number of years, one trend that I hope doesn't continue is when we start to see, you mentioned people moving out of the district, one went to Texas and stuff like that. So when the economy gets tough, that trend in the past is families up and left California. So hopefully we don't see that trend continuing as families, choice out to, for cost of living, and then they're forced to move to Colorado or Arizona or Texas or whatever. So we kind of have to keep our eye on that, and hopefully that's not the trend that happened in the past. So nothing that we can control, but this is our revenue, and this is what funds us. If we can, the economy pushes it that way, then that's something we have to address.
John, can I just ask one favor? Because I have our school board numbers in my head. I have my work numbers in my head. Would you mind just adding somewhere on this report just what our budget was for the year for enrollment?
Yeah.
Just somewhere on the bottom, and thanks. I appreciate it. Then I don't have to keep looking it up.
Okay.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
I also included the budget summary as of January. Apologize, there was computation error on the summary spreadsheet, but the underlying spreadsheets were working. We were able to, after some adjustments and after accounting for some unfilled positions that we weren't going to fill, adjust our unrestricted budget by $513,000. And then on the restricted side, we accounted for some one-time money that we were expecting, $1.8 million in the student support and professional development block grant. There are some expenses that come along with that we are planning to use some of that money for, and then some other adjustments along the way. So we increased our restricted revenue by 2.1, almost 2.2 million, and our expenses by 1.3 for a total of 865,000 in a surplus, if you will. On the restricted side, that doesn't really help our budget issue, but those are the highlights of the budget update for through January 31st. Any questions about that? That's my report.
Thank you. Next, we have approval of resolution 2026-12, Women's History Month.
Yes, February is Black History Month and March is Women's History Month, and we want to honor the contributions of women to our history, and we would love the approval of the board.
Any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve resolution 2026-12, Women's History Month?
All motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Next is approval of resolution 2026-13, Art and Music Education Month.
We want to highlight the importance of art and history, or excuse me, art and music in our students' well-rounded education. I think this evening we heard from Han and how important it is for the students, and we are asking for your approval of passing this resolution.
Any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve resolution 2026-13, Art and Music Education Month?
I move.
Can I get a second?
All second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Next up is item D, approval of MOU with Roanoke Park Cotati Educators Association, RIPSIA, regarding budget reductions for the 2026-2027 school year.
Sorry. Good evening. Tonight, we're asking for your consent to finalize this memorandum of understanding that was negotiated with and voted on by the RIPSIA membership to support the district's fiscal solvency. As stated earlier by Lisa Bauman, this would include 2 furlough days, an increase in dental, life, and vision benefits paid for by members, and increased class sizes in 3rd through 12th grade. And we don't take this ask lightly, and we ask for your support with this MOU.
Thanks. Any questions or comments? Oh.
Yes, I want to say thank you to the teachers and everybody that worked together for this MOU, and the class size is you guys are just warriors out there, and I just really appreciate that. That increased class sizes quite a bit. Thank you.
And it's for 1 year, right?
Yes, just for the 2026-27 school year.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? All right. Can I get a motion to approve the MOU with Roanoke Park Cotati Educators Association regarding budget reductions for the 26-27 school year?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Approval of MOU with Service Employees International Union regarding budget reductions for the 2026-2027 school year.
Okay, tonight we're asking for consent to finalize the MOU that was negotiated with and voted on by the membership of SEIU to support the district's fiscal solvency. And for this bargaining group, this means 1.5 furlough days.
I did have a question because for RIPSIA, it is a non-student day that they would take.
Yes.
But for SEIU, it does have to happen on student days. Is that correct?
Yes, so the reason for 1.5, we do in the SEIU contract, there is one non-student day. So, and we felt it was vital for them to continue to be there for part of that time. So we did make that the 0.5. So that day would be a half day. And then the other day is a floating day. So similar to how an employee would now do school business leave, a member of SEIU would put in for their floating furlough day, and it would be approved by their site or department administrator, and that would be done without coverage. So there would not be a sub or another way. The internal staff, including the admin, would figure out how to meet the needs of the site or the department on that day.
Okay. And then it does need approval by the site, so you wouldn't have everyone from SEIU taking the same furlough day on the same day.
Exactly, yes. And we also did establish a hardship bank, if you will, that we'll do this year, where folks within SEIU can donate some
their days.
accrued vacation time towards a bank, and then anyone within the membership can put in a request for hardship support, and if these furlough days will greatly impact, they can ask for some support, and the folks who have donated can give to them.
That's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that hardship bank is just genius. Where did they come up with that? I mean, has that been done in other places? Or?
It's a good question if it's been done other places, but it came out of our negotiations and was collaborative thought.
Wonderful.
It's part of what's so great about interest-based bargaining.
We do it with our other unions, right, currently?
Say it again.
Don't we have hardship days with our other unions as well?
With
Catastrophic, that's catastrophic.
Oh, that's
leave. Is this
catastrophic
different?
leave.
This is different?
This is different. There are certain, you have to be eligible for catastrophic leave, but this is, yes, so this is a little bit different, but it's the same idea, if you will.
Thank you for explaining it.
Mhm.
Any other questions? Can I get a motion to approve the MOU with Service Employees International Union regarding budget reductions for the 26-27 school year?
All motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Approval of Resolution 2026-14, Board of Trustees of the Cotati Roanoke Park Unified School District regarding criteria to determine certificated personnel who shall be exempt from the order of layoff by virtue of their credentials, competence, assignment, experience, or certification.
All right, so tonight we're asking for your approval of this resolution. This is skipping criteria for anyone who would be potentially laid off and would allow us to maintain certain hard-to-staff credentials or address programmatic needs, like the bilingual CLAD authorization, things like that, so that we can maintain those credentials because they're often hard to find.
Any questions? All right. Can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-14?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call.
Trustee Johnson?
Yes.
Trustee Brown?
Yes.
Trustee Nelson?
Aye.
Trustee Martin?
Aye.
Trustee Wing?
Yes. You want me to say it? Or-
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. Approval of Resolution 2026-17, consideration of impossible reduction in resolution regarding elimination of permanent classified employee services, 8.175 total FTE.
Rachel, I want to say something, if that's okay.
Please, go ahead.
Thank you. These are, I think Lisa put it really well when she said these are the best of the worst ideas. None of these are good ideas, and it's where we find ourselves. And I just really want to acknowledge our labor partners, because without them, we would not be where we are. We would be in dire straits, and we have had very hard conversations, and we are able to do them because we maintain each other's dignity and we respect each other. And we couldn't do it without the partnership of RIPSIA and SEIU and CSCA. And these are really hard choices that we've had to make. And I really am sorry that we are where we are, but I do appreciate the support that everybody has brought to the table. So thank you.
Thank you for that. Couldn't agree more. Tonight we're asking for approval to move forward with a reduction of force for the listed classified positions on this resolution for a total of 8.175 total FTE.
Any questions? Can I get a, oh,
In this case, I mean, I don't like the use of FTE. I mean, these are people, so
Yes.
they're being affected. So acronyms don't really capture the 8.175 full-time employees that are going to be affected by this. So.
You are correct. This is people, and it does impact people. I do want to add that for some of these, for classified positions, a number of these are current vacancies. So it's less impacted people than that number, but it absolutely is people, and it's a hard decision to have to make.
can I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-17, consideration of impossible action of resolution regarding elimination of permanent classified employee services, 8.175?
I move that we pass Resolution 2026-17.
Can I get a second?
Yes, I agree. Approval is just really not the word that I like either. So I second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown.
Yes.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Approval of Resolution 2026-15, consideration of impossible action of resolution regarding certificated reduction in force, 26 FTE layoff.
Thank you. Tonight we're asking for your approval to move forward with a reduction of force or layoff of the listed certificated positions. This includes RIPSIA and management for a total of 26 positions. And again, this does impact people.
Any questions? I get a motion to approve Resolution 2026-15, consideration of impossible action on resolution regarding certificated reduction in force.
Move we approve 11H.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yes. Approval of Resolution Number 2026-16, authorizing acceptance of quick claim deed and authorizing execution of a certificate of acceptance.
Josh is in the house if he wants to help answer this question. But ultimately, we were as you know, we were in a purchase power agreement Jua Capital, and we officially ended that relationship. They didn't do something on their end to make it official after the contract was signed. So this is what this is essentially.
Any questions or comments? Can I get a motion to approve resolution number 2026?
Can we go back? What, does this have any ramifications of this? It's just wordage and,
No, it's just a, no,
okay, thanks.
not with our current contract.
All right. Thank you. Proceed.
I
Sorry,
just don't know where we
interrupted.
were. Who wants to approve this? Okay, here it is. Approval of resolution number 2026-16, authorizing acceptance of a quitclaim deed and authorizing execution of a certificate of acceptance.
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Roll call?
Trustee Johnson,
Yes.
Trustee Brown,
Yes.
Trustee Nelson,
Aye.
Trustee Martin,
Aye.
Trustee Wing.
Yep, yes, sorry. We're getting casual now. Yes. Okay, proposal to negotiate the successor to the 2025-2026 contract with California Schools Employees Association, CSEA, Chapter 645.
All right, tonight we're asking for the approval to move forward with the sunshine articles that CSEA has put forward to begin our interest-based bargaining sessions with them this week.
Any questions? All right, can I get a motion to approve the proposal to negotiate the successor to the 25-26 contract with California School Employees Association, Chapter 645?
I move.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
5-0. Next up is the first reading of BP and AR 1114, district-sponsored social media. Then we have acceptance of gifts and donations. Yeah, I can do it.
Okay, got it. So Han PTA generously donated $13,420 to Han for their field trips. We also received our Grayton contribution of $364,000. We thank our Grayton partners. They pay us in installments through the year, so thank you to both organizations.
Great. Any questions?
Just a reminder, how many installments do they make in a year?
They make quarterly payments.
Quarterly payments, so equally amount, roughly?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Just want to make sure the total numbers in my brain.
1.6 mil, 1.2,
1.4.
well, 1.2 mil.
That's pretty good.
Great. All right. Can I get a motion to approve item L, acceptance of gifts and donations to schools and districts?
I move.
Okay, second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Future business and agenda items. Trustee Johnson?
Oh, you were asking me? Oh, yeah. I think we're going to have that gal from about the vape ordinance or something coming up soon. I know she's probably hard to wiggle in, but that's what I'm looking forward to.
Yes, we're working on that.
Trustee Brown?
Nothing
Nope.
passed.
Trustee Nelson?
Pass.
Trustee Martin?
Pass.
I do not have any. Any of our school board members? All right. Next, we will convene back to closed session. We are going to stop the recording at this time as items in closed session are discussion only and no action will be taken, and the board will adjourn from closed session. Thank you.